Hello, Persian kittens. Good morning. Bom dia. I'm a little bit late this morning, running a little bit behind schedule, so we'll just do a quick live today. And I didn't make my video this morning, so I don't have a topic yet. Let's see if anybody has a topic for me to talk about. I'm so happy that you're here. Oh, you mean here as in Brazil? Yeah, how is your trip going? Are you still in Rio? Oh, I haven't been to Rio yet. Hopefully we will go at some point. Beautiful. How is the weather in Rio at the moment? Because it's really hot here. But obviously it's really rainy in the south. I guess Rio's kind of halfway between. It's raining today. And I never thought I'd say this, but I'm happy to see rain. Yeah, it gets really hot. It gets really hot. The rain is a nice little break. I'm not sure about Rio, but where I live, it's kind of hot most of the time. It doesn't get cold, so the only break you get from the heat is rain, and it's kind of warm rain. But that's fine. That's why I like Brazil. Okay, so what shall we talk about today? I didn't do my video this morning. What would I do it on if I had done it? Let's talk about intuition a little bit. Let's talk about intuition. We've been focused on emotional intelligence the past few weeks. So let's talk a little bit about intuition. Hello, Miguel. So if you're here, you can put in the chat if you communicate with your intuition at the moment. Just put it in the chat. Do you ever ask your intuition questions? And when I say intuition, I mean also like your higher self, your spirit guides, anything kind of within yourself, where you go for advice, or praying, right? Praying is kind of like asking your intuition. No. Good morning, Jason. No, you don't. I must say, when I was younger, before I had heard of like intuitive living and following your intuition, I did it anyway, but I never really like asked my intuition, like, hey, intuition, what should I do right now? It wasn't communication like that. I just sort of would know, and I was always very like impulsive. Like if a decision felt good to me, then I wouldn't go and research. I wouldn't go and like make it take any longer than it need to. I would just be like, okay, yeah, like feels good, so yeah, and I wouldn't give it any more thought. So I've kind of had two different experiences with intuitive living and following intuition. In my past, in my like teenage 20s, I would follow my intuition, just knowing, not asking. And as an older adult, I've been actually like talking to my intuition, asking questions. Hey girl, hey Werlen, how are you? Tell me how you went the other day. Was that yesterday or Monday? It was Monday, wasn't it? How did you go? Did you speak to your partner? Jason, how did you get the answers? Okay, so I was actually talking to somebody about this the other day, because in the community that I used to be a part of, they teach that you can kind of have an open running dialogue with your intuition at any time. You can always like ask for answers. However, in my experience and in the experience of some of the other people there, your intuition doesn't always want to talk to you. So my answer to that question, how do you get the answers, is you have to wait until your intuition's ready to talk to you. Sometimes it's ready right away, and sometimes it's not. But in a practical sense, how do you get the answers is you get an idea. or you see something. So I'm not super visual. I have more of a like knowing thing. Some people like hear voices. Some people see things. So sometimes I see things. But like you will get it, you have an idea. So however you usually get ideas, whether you see it or you just kind of know it, you'll have that. And then when you focus in on that, on the vision or the thought, the idea, you'll get a feeling in your body. And that's the key. So if you're just like hearing voices in your head and there's no feelings, then that's just your ego, or that's just your brains chattering, right? So when it's your intuition that's talking to you, there's always a feeling. So yeah, whether it's an idea and you just kind of know it, or you're actually seeing it in your head, the key is in the feelings that you get alongside it. Hey Dee, how lovely to have you here. We're talking a little bit about intuition today. Hey Dee, do you want to come up and join the live, seeing as we're talking about intuition? Up to you. The invite is there if you want to. Or I can actually, hang on, I will actually invite you. She's coming. So, Dee also creates content around following your intuition, feeling your feelings, not allowing yourself to hold yourself back, and a lot of the things that I talk. I can hear you. So I just had my volume on really low. I
Oh,
can hear
that's
you.
okay. I'm pressing like the video button and it's not quite allowing me. It says you'll connect using audio only.
Dee doesn't have access to join with video. Interesting.
Oh, maybe because I don't have the 1,000 followers yet.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. Oh, so that's cool. So now if you've got less, you can join lives, but only talking. Weird, but
I've
cool.
learned something new.
Yeah. How are you, Dee? Tell me what's been going on
Oh
with
my
you.
God. I'm doing so good. I feel amazing. Good morning. Waving to my neighbor. Went for a walk, a really slow meditative walk. I looked at so many trees. I'm going to post a video of all the trees that were speaking to me today. I've had water with flower essences in it and Celtic sea salt, and
Oh,
I've gotten in my massage chair, and life is just good.
oh my God, that
Life
sounds
is,
amazing.
yes,
And
thank you. How are
you
you?
you have a
Oh,
salon, right? Where you do
I do.
massages and
I do 1111 Wax Studio and Spa. I've been in
wax.
business for 12 years. Yeah, it's amazing. I took a little bit of time off for me, but I should be going back this weekend. Weekends are the busiest.
Yeah, lovely. Oh, it's nice that you
Yeah,
get to just enjoy some time off and downtime during the week, and
I
then
love it.
then you get to serve your people. I'm
I
just going to
do.
read these comments here. Jason saying the day I got the job offer, I had a feeling something good would happen, but I wasn't sure what. I had a feeling that morning. Amazing. Oh, Dee's just. Oh, there she is. Dee, just to catch you up, Jason was on last week and he was stressing out a little bit because he had applied for a job and he hadn't heard back. And then, so we went through some coaching and some letting go of the stress and anxiety. And then he found out on Friday that he got the job. And
Oh, congrats.
had a feeling that morning. So that was your intuition, Jason. That was your intuition, because your intuition knows. It always knows. And that's why it's so important not to get caught up in like stress and anxiety when your brains are like, oh, these awful things might happen, because your intuition knew you were going to get the job. Uh,
And it always works out too. Like, it always works out.
Yeah, we spoke about that a little bit when I was coaching Jason and telling him even if he doesn't get the job, then that means that there's like something better around the corner, that this job wasn't meant for him, that it would have been awful for him.
Yes.
So, how do you
Love
communicate
it.
with your intuition, Dee?
Oh man. Well, a couple of ways. Sometimes I'll do like a sitting meditation and I'll get into a flow, something if there's something I desire. But typically, like when I'm doing dishes or going for a walk or I'm in traffic, I'm just communing with myself. I'm in my body. I'm aware that I'm in my body and I listen and I talk within myself. Yeah, that's how I do it.
So it's
I
really
mean, and
about
then
like being present and not distracting yourself.
a hundred percent. And you can, again, be doing dishes or going to the mall and still be 100% present within your faculties, within your body.
Yeah, do you
Yes.
know, I noticed this the other day actually, dear. I was going for a shower and because I've got young kids, so I tend to like rush into the shower boop, 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 and rush out. And I caught myself in the shower and I was like, what am I doing? Like, this is a few moments of peace that I get, like the warm water, the kind of cleansing feeling of having the water running down. And I had to just stop myself and be like, no, I can really enjoy this present moment. Just having a shower is something to be grateful for, to appreciate, right?
It is. It is. Showers are my favorite, and baths are my favorite too. Here's the thing, like I used to get, well, I still kind of get in trouble a little bit because I run late, and when I run late, it's because I'm normally taking like a 1990s herbal essence type of shower.
Oh my God, I remember the advert. I
And
remember
I'm
the advert. Oh
singing,
God.
yes, and exfoliating, and just the way the water, I mean, it's this whole thing. It's beautiful. So I get lost in that, and I don't like setting alarms and like timers for things that are leisurely and luxurious for me. But I have been having to be mindful because I have been late quite a quite a bit. A lot of I'm known for being late because of showers, but like fashionably late.
Yeah, I love that. I would definitely be late more if I had a bath. I don't have a bath in my house. I have not had a
Okay.
bath in my house for about 20 years. It makes me so sad. And every time I go to my mum's house, I will have a bath like every morning, at least sometimes at night as well, because I love a bath so much. They're not very common
So
in
good.
Brazil.
Oh wow. What do you put in your bath water, if anything?
So I usually use those bath bombs. So they're kind of there's a shop called Lush. We have it in the UK, we have it in Australia. I don't know if you have it in the US.
We
And they make
do.
these kind of bombs out of it's like bicarb of soda and something else, so that when you put it into the water, it just like explodes and fizzes. And then there's like a lot of natural, essential oils and like rose petals or whatever kind of flavor that you get. So that's what I usually put in my bath, or like Epsom salts otherwise.
Nice. Yes, we have Lush out here. It's amazing. I love their products.
You have Lush.
Very
Oh, amazing. Oh,
nice.
they really got everywhere. That's cool.
They do. They do. I'm so happy that I got to see you a couple weeks ago on Alliances.
Yeah, that was really cool. I've got a call with them today, actually. I've got a call with David today. Yeah, and so that's where I learned about your studio because I'm not sure I knew that you had a studio before. I definitely heard you talk about it, but I don't think I knew it was yours. Like I knew that's kind of the industry that you worked in. So that was really cool finding out about that.
Oh, I love that. Are you referring to Kogan?
David Kogan, yeah.
Nice, 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 nice. Yeah, he's awesome. He's my client.
Oh, at the wax studio.
Yes, 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 yes.
Fantastic. Is
Isn't
it
that
in
awesome?
it's in Scottsdale?
No, it's in Phoenix, which is, it's in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay. Same
Yeah.
state. I'm not sure how close those places are.
Well, yeah. It's a pretty big state, but like from Andre and Sam's house with traffic, I'm maybe like 40, 45 minutes away.
Okay. Okay.
35 to 45.
That's
Yeah.
pretty close.
It is. It is.
So what will your intuition have you doing next? Or you don't know
Okay,
yet?
so because I have a lot of time freedom, right? Like a lot, I'll be creating. So today on the agenda, I am going to be making a list of all my favorite things I like to do for self-care. Walking, qigong, stretching, foam rolling, whatever. I'm gonna make them really pretty and put them in a box or a little bag, and I'm gonna just start picking out of it what I want to do instead of like oh my God, I've got all this time. I feel like I should be working. I have to work. Like just getting out of that space into really enjoying my home and myself. So I'm going to buy some bubbles. I know that for sure. And I'm gonna go grocery shopping today. But yeah, just all the little things, even soaking my feet in magnesium or dry brushing my body, just all the things that I love to do. Because I found myself trying to create a routine and I couldn't stick to it. Because I'm like, well, some days I want to dry brush and some days I want to oil pull. I don't know. Some days I don't want to do anything, you know? So I'm going to just compile all the things that I love, put them in a little bag, and I'll just pick at them, have fun with it.
I really love that idea. I think I might do something like that too, because I have this same thing. Like even when I have free time, I feel like I don't feel like I have to fill it with something, but I feel like I have to fill it. So whether it's filling it with doing nothing, or filling it with meditating, or filling it with some kind of like activity or something productive, I still kind
Yes.
of think about filling the time, and I think especially because of the kids, so like it's always very like I have an hour, it's 1 hour, so I feel like
Yes.
I got to do something with that hour. What should I do? But I love the idea of putting all the self-care things, because I love self-care as well. Like I love spending an evening just putting lotions and creams on myself, and these guys often
Yes.
get to watch me doing my doing my nails as I'm coaching here.
And happy Mother's Day to you as well.
Oh, thank you.
Every day.
Yeah, thank you. It was really lovely. The kids spoiled me and then they disappeared for the rest of the day, which was lovely.
Even better. I love it. I love it. I love it.
These
So,
days.
question for you about TikTok, right? So, I don't have 1,000 followers yet. And when I watch your content, you have a very natural approach to the camera, which I have, I don't know, maybe assume that you have a natural approach with yourself as well. Like there's a connection there. And are there any pointers for someone who has not gone live yet, but I desire to? And then, I don't know, just kind of going with the flow, the confident flow, if you will,
Yeah.
that you possess. Oh.
So I've got two TikTok channels, and I found that so on the other one, I tried a few different things. One of which was like I would always put like hair, makeup, always kind of done, ready for camera. I would have like a topic that I knew I wanted to talk about, and sometimes I would even write what I wanted to say. And um, and it didn't work. It didn't work very well.
Okay.
And so then I adjusted my style. And I'm talking about the other channel just because I've had the other channel for longer, but I'll mention this one as well. So then I started replying to people's comments because it was a rental advice channel, so it was appropriate. People would ask me questions in the comments, or ask me questions through DM. So then I would just answer the questions kind of off the bat, not like planned. Still full face of makeup though, and lighting and everything. And then at some point that just got to be too much, so I just stopped. And I stopped doing the makeup, I stopped doing my hair, I stopped feeling the need to prepare for recording a video and just doing it off the bat. And that's the approach that I brought over to this channel. So it's where I'm focusing my attention now. I've got two channels on both Instagram and on TikTok, so I'm trying to get them together. But yeah, so for me, it's about I really don't plan what I'm going to talk about. I don't do myself up. I try to stay away from filters as much as possible as well, because I want to give an authentic kind of taste of me. And sometimes I do wear makeup because I've already got makeup on, right? Like it's not a rule, it's just I'll be how I am. That's the thing. However I am, I'm not going to go make myself up for TikTok. And then with respect to kind of the format of like what I'm saying, I've kind of found a bit of a niche that I know people are interested in about me, and that's sort of my experience as being a British person in Brazil. And so I realized that when I was making content about being a Brit in Brazil, it was going viral, and I use the term going viral to mean it got a K on the end. I don't know if there's an official term for what viral is, but to me, it's anything over 10K, it's got a K. So I started getting more and more videos that were getting the Ks. And it annoyed me for a little while because it's not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about coaching. So then I didn't do anything with my TikTok for a while because I was in a bit of a grump about it. And I was like, well, people only want to hear about this. It's not what I want to talk about. I'm not going to talk about it. Then I got out of my own way and stopped telling myself that nonsense and found a way to talk about being British in Brazil and thread that into a coaching theme.
Nice.
And that's
Nice.
kind of what I've landed on. So I think it's very much about doing what feels right for you, presenting yourself in an authentic way, talking about what you want to talk about, but also being aware of what people want to hear. And I love I watch a lot of your videos. I love the messages that you're talking about, right? And like, I'm no expert by any means, but the one thing I would say about your videos is sometimes they're a little slow to start, and you have a very short gap on TikTok to grab people's attention, like literally 2 seconds, I think it is, or a second and a half, maybe even. So yeah, so I would say maybe work on your hooks. But I think like what you're talking about and the way you present yourself, which is quite similar to me, right? You're usually quite natural. Like, it seems like you just kind of had an idea and picked up the phone. I'm not sure if it's true, but that's how it seems.
It is, yes, for sure.
Yeah. So I'd say like all of that is great. Just work on that, like getting people to stay watching
And okay. Can, can you hear me
for
okay?
long. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oops. No, thank you so much for that feedback. How would I do that? Because I'm new to social media. Like, I can post, but like the hook, I never even thought about that. Like, at all. I've never even, I mean, I've heard of getting hooks, but like for someone who's a novice.
Okay. Like, as I said, like I'm not an expert. I'm just kind of feeling my way along. So my first advice would be there are experts on TikTok, loads of them, that will tell you how to create content, create hooks. So first advice would be go to search in TikTok, like creating an awesome hook. There are videos that will walk you through it step by step. There are videos that will give you prompts. There are videos that will literally spell out for you, here are 10 hooks you can use at the start of your video, right? Depending on how much input you want. But my general advice is that you need to say something that's either going to be like controversial, or it's gonna really hit like a targeted niche of people, or it's going to hint at some value from the content. Something that like just your first sentence being something like, oh yeah, I want to listen to that. Or some people do it visually, so they'll kind of start with their phones like this, or like whatever, like start in a weird position, or start with somebody else's video, like do a duet, start with somebody else's video that did really well, right? Like, you can, what's it, not duet, split, I
Stitch.
think it's called split. Stitch, yeah, lost the word. Stitch, yeah. So get somebody else's video that's gone viral, take their first second and a half, and then relate it to your content.
I like it. Thank you so much.
No
Thank you.
worries.
Awesome.
You're welcome to stay up here, or hop down, whichever you're more comfortable with. But I'm just going to, because Hadir has been asking in the chat here if we can keep talking about yesterday. So I was talking to Hadir yesterday, and yeah, I had to leave for lunchtime. So we've only got 10 minutes again, Hadir, before I have to leave for lunchtime. But yes, we are. You're more than welcome to revisit the subject. I'm going to try and remember what we were talking about. It was literally just yesterday. Oh, I remember. Oh, Dee's gone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dee, for coming up. I really appreciate you being here and getting to talk to you a little bit about intuition. Hadir, I remember you had feelings for somebody. You only see them when you're playing matches in the same country, so not very often. And I had asked you to try and let go of the feelings. And that's where we left it, I believe. That was awesome, Dee. I'm trying to think if I can actually remember the names of any of the wind just blew the flowers over. If I can think of the names of any of those creators, but honestly, I don't really follow them anymore, so I can't remember. But if I come across any, D, I will send them to you. That's probably a better way to do it. If I come across them again, which I probably will now because TikTok heard me talking, I'll send them over. Hadir, I tried many times. Okay, so you tried many times to let go of the feelings, presumably. To let go of the feelings that you have for this person that doesn't feel the same way. And we talked about two ways of doing that, right? Either refocusing your energy elsewhere on the friendship or on somebody else, or just choosing to let it go, basically. Yes, go ahead, tell me something. I'm just going to grab a towel because I did just spill water everywhere here. Alrighty. So while Hadir is letting me know an update on his not long lost. So everyone busy with his life, but we're meeting in somewhere. We know that we have feelings. Oh, well, this is a bit of a twist to the story. Okay, so yesterday you said that you were just friends, or you had gone back to just being friends. Okay, but this makes it sound like the other person does have feelings and the other person does potentially want more. Okay, interesting. So in that case, we need to look at why the other person isn't okay with admitting that. We're afraid to hug each other even for a long time. I'm gonna read between the lines. And make an assumption. I apologize if this assumption is wrong, but just for clarity on the situation. So I'm assuming from what you've told me so far that we're talking about a male-male relationship, and that potentially one of the reasons that you would be afraid to hug each other and feel the need to act like friends is for that reason. I don't know where you live, where you're from, but perhaps male-male relationships are not accepted there, or you at least feel, or the other person feels like they're not. So please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. That was an assumption made on what you've told me so far, but that's how it's coming through to me. That there's definitely some, from what you've just said, there's definitely some fear to be seen together or to be seen as together, and my assumption is that because it's a male-male relationship. I'm also assuming you're male because I can see you in your profile picture. That might not be you. Here we go, because both of us were married. Okay, so you were both married to women. Women, was it? And now you have feelings for each other. Okay, so this is kind of a different, if I'm right, and again, please tell me if I'm wrong, if I'm right, then this is a different kettle of fish than what we were discussing yesterday, simply because we have that element, that fear element, right? Which didn't come up yesterday. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm just checking the wording that you use so I make sure I replicate your wording. I don't want to put words in your mouth. And you said afraid, so I'm using fear. Okay, sorry. So you're correcting me. Okay, so it's not a male-male relationship. The other person is married. You're both married. Okay. So that's where the fear comes from. All right, thank you for clarifying. I'm glad I checked, didn't just jump straight in. Okay, so we got it. So we have this fear element. I was wrong about the reason why, but we have this fear element. Okay, so, and you're married as well. Right. Okay, here's my advice. You both need to make a decision, right? You both need to make a decision on your feelings. So it sounds like you have decided that you want her and not your wife. And it sounds like she has not decided that. She wants to stay friends, although you can tell there's both feelings there. In a situation like this, where there are agreements with other people, I don't know if there are kids involved as well, but there are agreements with other people, legal binding agreements, right, marriages, then like it's still, anything is possible, right? But you do need to be sure. Both of you need to be sure. And when it comes to you and you making your decision, I believe that you need to make a decision based on your feelings for her and based on your feelings for your wife. And I'm saying it like that because I'm not saying, I don't want it to sound like I'm saying, if you choose her, leave your wife, right? What I'm saying is you should stay true to your feelings regardless of what the other lady is doing. Right? You should stay true to your feelings. So if you feel like you shouldn't be married to your wife, then that needs to be dealt with. Right? That needs to be dealt with. And as a separate matter, do you have feelings for this other lady? Now, I don't know where you're from. So I know that in some places, like divorce, separation is much more accepted than in some other places, right? Like there's some places where that is still very difficult. However, my advice generally remains, I advise you to be true to yourself, to be honest with yourself about your own feelings and to act on that, to act in an authentic manner, because acting in any other way, taking action, like for example, initiating a divorce so that you can get with the other woman, could lead to further problems. However, if you seek a divorce because you feel like you shouldn't be married to your wife anymore, then that will free you. That will not lead to problems. That will lead to freedom. I'm just acting for a long time like I'm okay and I'm happy. Yes, a lot of people do that. A lot of people do that for the sake of their parents, for the sake of the kids, and you're not doing anybody any favors by doing that. By being inauthentic and not being true to yourself, you are causing yourself pain and you are causing the people around you pain as well. And once you notice this, you can see it in any movie that you watch, any TV show, anywhere you witness or real life, anywhere you notice a situation where somebody isn't being honest, the situation will gradually get worse and worse and worse and worse until the truth comes out. So you can avoid a lot of pain and heartache by being honest about your own feelings from as early as possible, right? In the last 2 months. So I'll tell you about a breakup that I went through where he and I had joint interests. We owned restaurants together, right? And so I stayed very unhappy in this relationship, because in the back of my mind I was like, it's too hard, like we have these restaurants together, it's better if we just stay together and make the restaurants work. Like, and I did that for 3 years. For 3 years I was desperately unhappy, I was crying all the time, like I was kind of self-sabotaging myself in many ways. And for 3 years, just because I was scared to leave, I was scared of what that could possibly look like, because I felt like our lives were so entwined. And like the freedom that came with leaving that relationship, when ultimately I did, because it got gradually worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, to a point where I had to leave. Like I couldn't possibly stay anymore. And I finally got up the courage to leave. And it was a difficult time of adjustment, of course. Like I had to find someone to buy my share in the restaurants, like find a new place to live, whatever. But nothing has ever felt so good as getting out of that toxic situation, right? Every time when I have a shower, I just, yeah, I feel you. I feel you. That is what it was like with me as well. And not just in the shower. Like I was going to the hairdressers and bawling my eyes out in the hairdressers. I was going to get my nails done and crying to the nail technician. I feel you. And you've got to be true to yourself. And honestly, Hadia, for now, for the situation that you are currently in, you're married and you don't want to be, I not let go of the feelings for the other person, but try not to bring them into this decision and into this situation. These are two separate situations, and I really advise you not to make one reliant on the other. Okay, so deal with your current situation, which is that you are unhappy in your relationship. The other lady, maybe she's the one that showed you that. But remember, like you always feel like the grass is greener, that the grass is rarely greener. So try not to make that the basis of your decision. Make the basis of your decision acting upon how you feel. And if you feel that the relationship you're in is not right for you, then you know what to do. Chris, do you believe that your feelings are right? Do you believe that your feelings are right? Yes, Chris. Your feelings are how your intuition communicates with you. Your logical brain will try and tell you that your feelings are wrong to keep you safe, to keep you in your comfort zone, but your feelings are always right. When did you ever get a gut feeling about something being off and do it and discover your gut feeling was wrong? Never. Every time your gut tells you not to do something and you do it, you come back and you're like, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Right? Every time. Your feelings are always right. That's what I believe. I understand. Okay, I do have to close the live down now. Hey, try and come back like 10 minutes earlier tomorrow. And I actually have a meeting starting at 12 tomorrow, so I have to finish the live by 12 tomorrow. Yeah, like if you want to talk more, come back. But yeah, I think that's where you need to focus. So yesterday it was about letting go, and I think that still stands to a certain degree. But I understand there were differences to what I knew of the situation, and so now my advice is to just focus on being authentic to yourself and acting in an authentic way. Okay, right. Thank you for being here, everybody, and I will see you guys tomorrow.